So Mexico is our number 2 threat. Al-Qaeda is our number 1 threat. You say they might be combined.
Oh, sure, Glenn. They've been studying the Mexican border since at least 2002.
Which highlights today's events. The U.S. President has joined the Canadian Prime Minister and the Mexican President in Mexico City to sign NASJA, the North American Joint Security Agreement, a historic new policy designed to share the policing responsibilities along the borders of these 3 countries and to hopefully curtail the illegal immigration and movement of drugs, weapons, and terrorists in the hemisphere. As part of this groundbreaking agreement, 50 U.S. tanks have been given to the Mexican Army and are now on display at Camp Chapultepec in Mexico City.
Ghosts, this is Fox 3. We're at the safe house. The president is secure. Repeat. The president is... Right! Fox 3, come in. Do you copy?
Just wanted to commend you on some excellent work out there, Captain Mitchell. And I've got something you'll be interested to know. General Ontiveros had help from influential people within the U.S. in his attempts to block NATSA. I'm batching some video through. Stand by.
And we are now being told that retired U.S. General James Monroe was arrested moments ago for what some believe is his involvement in Mexico's failed coup attempt.
Well, that explains how Carlos was able to hack his way into NORAD's computer. He had help on the inside.
Precisely. General Monroe opposed any idea of a joint security agreement with Canada and Mexico and pursued all means at his disposal to stop it.
But I still don't understand why.
He thought the best way to derail NATSA was to overthrow the Mexican government and put close friends like General Ontiveros in power, even if it meant scaring the Russians and Chinese and putting the whole world on the edge of nuclear annihilation.
Pounds of anthrax in a suitcase this big, carried by a fighter through tunnels from Mexico into the U.S., are guaranteed to kill 330,000 Americans within a single hour if it is properly spread in population centers there. What a horrifying idea. 9/11 will be small change in comparison. Am I right?
He goes on to suggest that Al-Qaeda will work with what he claims are 300,000 American white supremacist militias who also hate the U.S. government. If you're a longtime viewer of my program, you know that I've been talking about that unholy alliance for a while.
Mitchell, let me be the first to say you've already done enough for one man, so I don't like the idea of sending you back in. But the fight ain't over. We've still got buku rebel activity in Chiapas, the Yucatan, Veracruz, and right here across the border in Juarez, which is where I really need your cojones, son. The rebels have kept the U.S., Mexico, and Canada from signing the North American Joint Security Agreement. And now Congress is getting cold feet about us putting down this insurgency. So I do not know where you're going or what you're doing. Understood? What do I know? Our intel says the rebels may already have their hands on some nasty technology. Could be a dirty bomb, maybe biologicals. The only hard intel we have is that they're waiting on additional hardware from Panama. That's why I need you on the ground. You must secure and neutralize that package. Juarez is right on the border with the U.S. They're just too damn close. I can't stress enough the importance of your mission. You'll have some Mexican Army friendlies offering support on this op, Mitchell.
There is no need for airplanes, conspiracies, timings, and so on. one person with the courage to carry 4 pounds of anthrax will go to the White House lawn and will spread the confetti all over them. And then we will do these cries of joy.
This is something, I mean, is this just a nonsense recruiting, or is this something that we have evidence that he really means this and he has the ability to do these things?
Look, absolutely, they mean to do us harm. This is no nonsense. This is an insight into Al-Qaeda. What we're seeing, what we're peering into in this video is Al-Qaeda's intentions. And Al-Qaeda has thought and looked at the U.S. border with Mexico as an entry point into the United States, either for the movement of foot soldiers or for the movement of a weapon of mass destruction.
The Americans are afraid that the weapons of mass destruction might fall into the hands of terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda and others. There is good reason for the Americans' fears.
A threat to U.S. soil. FEMA has ordered mandatory evacuations of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
We hear the location of the missiles. It's on you, Mitchell. Take them out.
The map here, and this is going to show all of the cities in America where these drug cartels have come across the border and set up shop. I mean, it is like America has the chicken pox. Rodney, is there any frustration on the part of people in Atlanta or anywhere in the country that, I mean, could have said this was going to happen a long, long time ago, trying to get control down of our southern border? A lot of people are going to look at this and say, wait a minute, these are the same people that down south are cutting people's heads off if they interfere, are making Phoenix the #2 kidnapping capital of the entire world, and this all could have been prevented. Because as a dad, if I'm living in Atlanta and this is happening in my city, if I'm living in Phoenix and this is happening in my city, I don't care what anybody says officially, I'm pissed off. Because now my neighborhood is going down the crapper because we didn't get control of our borders.
New questions tonight about an Army combat brigade being trained to deal with civil disturbances in the United States. The Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 generally prohibits federal uniformed services from carrying out domestic law enforcement duties, except in cases expressly authorized by the Constitution or an act of Congress. Critics say the brigade's training goes against one of the founding principles of our country, separation of military and civilian government. Luis Schiavone has our report.
They've spent 30 months on the streets of Baghdad. Now the 1st Brigade combat team of the Army's 3rd Infantry Division is back in the USA. The Army Times reporting, quote, they may be called upon to help with civil unrest and crowd control or to deal with potentially horrific scenarios, end quote. The question arises, why? And isn't that what the National Guard does?
Infantry Brigade is designed to engage